Hi, hello, good morning, good night, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. As you can probably tell, I am not feeling my best. It is the first day of my cycle on Imbolc, and I'm taking that as a bright and beautiful blessing in the cycle of all things, but I am exhausted. I had planned to do a big ritual video where I showed you all the things that you could do for Imbolc and how you could honor Brigid. And I'm really, really not feeling well. So, what this video is instead, I offered a free workshop 2 nights ago now, on Brigid and Imbolc. And within that workshop, there is the history, some of the mythology, some of the places you can find Brigid and Saint Brigid information, some practices for Imbolc, what Imbolc is, some things you can do to honor Brigid, along with a guided meditation, a journaling prompt, and a poetry prompt. And so that is all included in this video, along with the one ritual activity practice I did get to film with my coven before I woke up feeling this way. So I hope you will forgive me for that, and I hope you will enjoy this video regardless and all it has to offer. And if you enjoyed this video, please hit the like and subscribe button, leave a comment saying hello, where you're coming from, and do check out me and my friend Amy's special offering that's beginning in only like 2 weeks. Oh my goodness, which workshops, where we will spend the year in container, in community, in support with other people who have been curious about what a witchcraft practice looks like, what that even means, and how we can reconnect with ourselves and nature in everyday life. So everything you need is in the show notes, or I keep saying show notes, I guess they are show notes, in the description box below. Thank you for being here, and I'll see you soon. The Celtic goddess Brigid was and is one of the most widely venerated goddesses in Ireland and beyond. She's associated with poetry, healing, fertility, smithcraft, and prophecy. Her name is thought to mean exalted one, or high one, or fiery arrow, she's often connected with too. And she may be connected to a wider Indo-European goddess archetype that deals with sovereignty. So Brigid is sometimes referred to with other names such as Bride, Bridie, Brigida, Brigantia, and she is a member of the Tuatha De Danann, or a race of gods and supernatural beings who are thought to have come to Ireland before its current inhabitants. Brigid is described in medieval Irish texts such as the Cath Maig Tuired, or the Second Battle of Mag Tuired. I know I'm butchering that, and I'm so sorry. I even took a PhD level course on Celtic mythology, and I am doing my very best to pronounce these correctly. I am so sorry for anyone who speaks Gaelic or Irish and are listening to me pronounce that, but I do believe it's close to Cath Mag Tuired. I'm so sorry. It's in the show notes. But this story tells of a conflict between the Tuatha De Danann and the Fomorians, and they were oppressive. And Brigid married a half Fomorian king named Bress in a political alliance and had a son named Ruadan, who unfortunately is later killed in battle. And when Ruadan died, Brigid wailed and wailed with grief. and it is said that this was the first time that keening was ever heard in Ireland. And keening is a traditional mourning song that is still used to this day, and often during funerals. So through her keening, we also see Brigid as a mother, transforming the grief and pain and loss of her son into poetry and art. She is also named in an ancient text, the Labor Gabala Aren, or the Book of Invasions, and a number of surviving folk tales and oral stories. So one of these being the Christianized story of the Flame of Kildare, and the other being a folk tale of Brigid and the Serpent. So Brigid becomes Christianized around the 5th or 6th century CE during the spread of Christianity in Ireland, and she was syncretized with St. Brigid of Kildare. And this transition was not immediate, but it did happen gradually, and Brigid's origins remained alive through varying folk practices and traditions. St. Brigid is said to have been born around 451 CE to a Druid father and a Christian mother. She founded a monastery in Kildare where a sacred flame was tended by the nuns. So in the pre-Christian myth, this eternal flame was also kept in Kildare, but by priestesses of the goddess. So this flame represented her divine fire of inspiration. And this fire was believed to bring protection and wisdom to Ireland. It was tended by the nuns until it was extinguished in the 16th century. But modern-day nuns relit that fire in 1993, and you can still go and see it. So many of the miracles attributed to St. Brigid reflect her sacred powers, healing, fertility, generosity, and a gift of fire. Both Goddess Brigid and St. Brigid are celebrated at the same time, St. Brigid's Day or Imbolc. Now, Imbolc is one of the 4 major Celtic fire festivals, marking the midpoint between winter and spring. It comes from the Old Irish word Imbolc, and this means fire in the belly, referring to pregnant ewes preparing for birth. So this time symbolizes fertility, renewal, and the returning of the light, much like how the earth begins to wake up during the spring. So during Imbolc, it is said that a serpent emerges from the ground to signal the return of spring, reflecting renewal and cycles, the shedding of skin, the shedding of old patterns. So instead of Puxatawny Phil here in the US, it was a serpent. So there are many ways to honor Brigid during this time, and many practices that are still alive and well today. The lighting of candles and fires, representing Brigid's sacred flame, and the growing power of the sun as spring approaches. You can visit holy wells, or springs, or water, and people often walk around wells in a clockwise direction, asking for blessings, healing, and divination. You could weave Brigid's cross. So families often wove straw crosses in this 4-arm shape and placed them over their doorways and hearths for protection throughout the year. And this is still a very common practice, both for pagans who celebrate the goddess Brigid and for Christians who celebrate Saint Brigid. So many people choose to use February 1st or 2nd to set intentions for the year instead of January 1st. And you can cleanse your space, make offerings, do a meditation, maybe a writing or a poetry session, or engaging in some kind of creative work in her honor. Another very common practice is to tie a cloth or ribbon to a tree. So this tradition is still practiced at Brigid's Well in Kildare and all over the place where people honor Brigid. This cloth represents a request for healing or protection. And people would leave this cloth out overnight on Imbolc Eve and then tie it to a tree after Brigid has left her blessing. Another thing that you could do is leave a scarf or a shawl or a piece of fabric outside on Imbolc Eve in order to receive Brigid's blessing. So this is an old folk tradition and it's still practiced very widely. I did this myself. I'm going to be doing it again during this Imbolc portal, especially since I don't feel so well right now. So if you think that you've missed the time to do it, no, we're still within the portal, so you can still do that. So you can take a cloth or a scarf or a shawl and leave it outside, whether that's on a bush or tie it somewhere. And it is said that Brigid will come by on her way and she will bless this fabric, infusing it with her charm and healing energy. So this will become a healing or protective charm that you can wear when you're not feeling very well. And a lot of folk traditions speak to wearing this scarf or shawl when you have a sore throat or a headache. So as you can see, I have my pretty spring flowers. I have some geranium. I have some cedar as a final thank you and goodbye to the energies of winter. I have some clear quartz and some rutilated quartz just for a little extra pizzazz, and also because it's not something I use very often, the rutilated quartz, so I figured this is a good time to use it. Have some additional dried herbs. So I've got rose petals, I've got nettle, I've got hyssop, and I've got mugwort. And I'm going to put down in the description below what all of these are traditionally used for. And what I'm going to do, so I'm going to put all of these things into this container. Online, I think I saw a woman use like a traditional bundt cake container, but I actually don't have one of those. And so I went to the dollar store and I got one of these, and it has a hole in the middle, which is what you want, because after this freezes, you will light a candle in the middle and it will burn down and you will visualize the earth thawing and spring returning. So let's make it. I'm actually making one for a ritual tonight that I'm having with friends, and one for myself for personal ritual. So I'm going to pour some water first, so that there's like a base, I guess. And then I'm going to get some flowers. Aren't they so pretty? I'm facing them in like all directions. And some of the petals that fall off, I'll douse some of those in there. That's really pretty. Mix up the colors a bit. Okay, that's good for now. I don't actually know if, when the candle is burning, we'll be able to smell any of these essential oils, but that's not really the purpose. The purpose is to infuse their energy. Thank you to the energies of winter. You may leave, please. Some of the rutilated quartz. And so as you can see, like, you can do this with anything. These are like, except for the flowers, I had to go buy them, and obviously the dollar store find, but if you have flowers, if you have maybe some herbs or some plants that are wilting, you don't know what to do with, or if you see, you know, there's all sorts of ways that you can do this where it's really inexpensive. A lot of the herbs, aside from rose, that I chose are really protective and healing. You always want to protect yourself when you are performing any kind of ritual or spell. It's so easy when you're raising the energy for spirits and energies and people in your life to become aware of you as you're raising your own energy. And so even when I'm doing like sort of the most mundane kinds of things, I think it's really important to have some allies or some guides with you while you do this. So Mugwort is great for the healer and protection. And that's also why I have Hyssop. So even though we're not going into Samhain, we're going into Imbolc, for us in the Northern Hemisphere anyway. I still think that one should protect themselves as much as possible. Yes, we would love to invite any benevolent ancestors and beings into the space, but we're still at the threshold of winter, which means we're still at the threshold of, you know, different kinds of energies that may or may not be as peaceful. And so it's a good idea to have what you need. Now I'm going to pour more water. Kind of encapsulate these things. Push everything under. Mix it up. I probably went overboard. But infusing it with a bit of my energy as well. I actually think I could use a little bit more water. Voila. And let me show you. So this is the one I made for the ritual tonight. The lighting is not so great where I am. But now I'm going to put it in my freezer, let it freeze, and I'm going to make my own and do the same. And I'll take a video of the progress. Tell me that's not amazing. Look at that. What's so great about this container is that everything is melted, but you don't have to worry about it going anywhere. It's nice and safe, and you have completed your ritual, completed your visualization, and now you can leave this as an offering either outside or wherever you leave offerings. Welcome spring. I presented this as part of a workshop on Brigid and Imbolc for my Women's Spirituality Institute Lumina, and we participated in a guided meditation journey and a creative journaling prompt. And so I'm going to share that with you. And so maybe you want to find a place to lay down, a place to get comfortable. Maybe you want to pause this and you want to go find that place and then restart, or grab a journal, whatever you want to do. but this is the meditation that I shared, and I'd like to share it with you. Begin in a comfortable position. Close your eyes or lower your lids. Take a deep breath in and exhale. And let's begin. Take a deep breath in through your nose and exhale through your mouth. Again, in and out. And with each breath, feel your body relax, sinking into the space beneath you. Picture yourself standing on the soft green earth, barefoot in a sacred grove in Ireland. The air is cool and fresh, carrying the scent of damp earth, heather, and wood smoke. Tall, ancient trees surround you, their branches forming a natural temple above. Beneath your feet, you feel the steady pulse of the earth, Brigid's land, rich with life and energy. In the center of the grove stands a stone well, its waters shimmering under the soft glow of morning light. Beside it, a simple iron forge hums with gentle heat, and before you, a sacred flame burns, steady and eternal, in an ancient bronze bowl. As you breathe deeply, you call upon Brigid. Brigid, goddess of the sacred flame, keeper of inspiration, creativity, and healing, I invite you to be present with me now. Ignite within me the fire of creation. Open my heart to your wisdom and guidance. You feel a warmth in your chest, a gentle yet powerful spark, as if the flame before you also burns within. Now imagine stepping closer to the sacred fire. Brigid stands beside it, her presence radiant yet comforting. She extends her hand, holding a single golden ember, a piece of the sacred flame meant just for you. She gently places it in the center of your chest, where it glows warmly. This is your own sacred flame, your creative spark, your inner passion, your limitless inspiration. With each breath, this flame grows brighter. It fills you with the courage, creativity, and clarity that you need. You feel old doubts and fears burning away, leaving space for your new ideas, new dreams, new expressions of your soul. Brigid whispers, "This flame is yours. Nurture it. Feed it with your dreams, your voice, your art, your passion. Let it guide you forward." As your inner flame burns strong, Brigid gestures toward the well of sacred waters beside you. You step forward, cupping your hands, and lift the cool, shimmering water to your lips. This is the water of wisdom and healing. It balances your fire, guiding it with purpose and flow. Now bring to mind a creative idea, dream, or passion project that calls to you. See it clearly, how it looks, how it feels, how it will manifest in your life. Your inner flame fuels it, and the sacred water nurtures it. You trust in your creativity. You believe in your vision. You carry Brigid's flame forward in your own way. Brigid smiles, knowing you will carry her gift within you. She places her hand over your heart one last time, concealing the flame within you. The grove begins to fade, but the warmth remains. Take a deep breath in and out. When you're ready, begin to wiggle your fingers and toes, bringing your awareness back to your body. And when you feel called, open your eyes. You are filled with Brigid's light. You are a creator, a healer, a bearer of the sacred flame.